for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
What is going on, kings, queens, and the entire spectrum in between? It is your boy Kwame, and I'm not joined by anybody actually today. I'm so used to being on Pyro Power Hour or any of the other shows with my current guests on this. I am a little kerfluffled today. But I am kerfluffled because I have a gorgeous queen on today, okay? I call her my internet wifey, you know? The amazing, the talented, the gorgeous, the delicious, if you will. Coach Kiana Shaw is in the building, okay? And I am so excited to talk with her. If you guys know her personally, then you are so blessed to just have her in your life. She has just been a huge dope person with networking when it comes to just vibing out with someone. You never meet some of those people that they just are genuinely dope. They ain't got nothing to there's no agenda. There's no issues. She's just exudes dopeness, you know? And it's hard to meet people like that because there's people out there that's just full of evil, okay? They trouble the waters, you know? But she comes in there and she just blesses your life and your soul and your spirit. And we want to thank God for her. But without further ado, y'all, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Kiana Shaw. Kiana is just, how do I say this? Well, you know what? I know how to say this. I will say this in the words of my good sis, Tasha Champion. She is the teen whisperer, if you will, okay? Kiana is the CEO and founder of KRS Training and Development. And let me tell you a little bit about who she is. Kiana Shaw is a certified self-mastery coach, breakthrough parenting instructor, speaker, author, and trainer. Her work is designed to bridge the gap between those who want to improve their current conditions and their ability to do so. Through her company, KRS Training and Development, Kiana provides training to youth, young adults, and blue-collar workers who want to go above and beyond with their professional career goals. She aims to help individuals gain and maintain, employment that leads to self-sufficiency by providing interactive self-mastery and hands-on workshops, tools, and resources. Kiana has partnered with various organizations such as the City of Long Beach, Pacific Gateway, Los Angeles Sparks, Greater Los Angeles African America Chamber of Commerce, and Los Angeles African American Public Policy Institute, where she is also an alumni. In addition to her training and development work, Kiana also has a variety of coaching and membership programs focused on supporting parents and teens. She actively leads an online community of over 22,000 mothers through her free Facebook group, Mothers Raising Teen Daughters, and her paid membership community, themomsuite.com. For more information about Kiana, visit kianashaw.enterprises or email her at kiana@kianashaw.com for speaking and media requests. Y'all, without further ado, I would like to introduce to some and reintroduce to others my sister from another mister, my internet wifey, the one and only Coach Kiana Shaw. Hey, Queen.
Listen, we're going to have to fix this. I can either be your sister from another mister or I can be your internet wife. To be both, though, creates
it's a little weird. Right, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. You know, there's only one. I only have one wifey, so you know I'll keep you in that category. You do well in that space,
right? Because I mean, who else you gonna get to be wifey though? Like,
I mean,
no, they don't qualify. I don't care how much you love them; they don't qualify.
You really don't. You really don't. And you've been there since the beginning.
So quit playing with me. That alimony payment gonna be real if we separate.
Common law marriage is up in the state, okay? California is a mother state, okay? I don't play no games. Hey, Dr. Hope, thank you for joining. I appreciate you, King. Y'all, do me a favor while we're in here. Do me a favor, quick favor. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Share and please subscribe if you haven't done so to Pyro Media Network or Kwame Speaks Official. It is greatly appreciated. We love you and thank you so much. And for those who are not getting notifications from YouTube or Twitch, you can text Blaze. That's right, text Blaze, BLAZE, to 833-793-2423. You know, those carrier messaging and mobile payments or charges apply if you don't have unlimited like the rest of us, you know. Anywho, how are you, Queen? How you doing, beautiful?
I am well. I am doing amazing. Life is good. Life is good.
Life looks good on you, Queen. You're looking good. You're looking refreshed. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's talk after the show.
I got a nap today, so I should be looking refreshed.
I know that's right. Hey, Cupcake, thanks for joining. Appreciate you, Queen. All right, so let's go ahead and chat real quick. Let's talk a little bit about mentoring our future bosses, which is the title of today's show. Okay. You have been in this game since the beginning. Okay, like since how I met you. It's since what?
2008.
Yeah, you have been doing the damn on thing, just working and helping these young princesses become the queens that they are. Tell me a little bit about what got you into all of it.
Oh my goodness. So I started this when I found out that my boyfriend of 4 years had been cheating on me for 2, right? Ooh. And what I discovered about myself during this time in this process was that one, I needed to stop being the person that when I had a man, I disappeared from everybody else, right? I allowed that person to consume my life, their family, their kids, whatever. And it was just one of those things where I had to develop me. And it was such a blessing in disguise to find that out. Okay, I see you with all my cute pictures. Let's go.
You know, that's one of my favorites.
Okay, listen, I'm here for it. Okay, I got some new ones to send you.
What's up about that offline?
Right. But I discovered during that time, one of my pastor has always been a mentor of mine. And he was like, well, where's your goal list? Like, I get it that you're hurting, but you're hurting because you're not doing it. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing for you. What are you doing? And so I said, well, all right, let me grab my goal list. And in my goal list, I had done nothing. Literally nothing. We were like in September of that year. I had not reached any of my goals. And he said, I need you to just focus on you. And what happened was, and he said, and keep a journal. And so I focused. And from September to December, I accomplished 80% of my goals, just being hyper focused on me. And what I realized was that as I was keeping the journal, as he told me to do, I was like, this is good. Like, this is my steps to overcoming this and to being the best me I can be. And I created a program, which eventually became my nonprofit, Village of Truth, which is now Leadership Academy, which relaunches in January. I'm super excited about that. And so as I've grown, like I had Village of Truth and I was in a bunch of schools as part of an after school program. So I was in like Crenshaw, Dorsey, Pomona, Washington, Centennial, so I was making the impact that I wanted to make. I just wasn't making the money that I needed to sustain because it's hard to be the lights when your lights is out. Right. And so I'm out here shining. When I go home and I'm in the dark, like I gotta and so I had to figure out the best way to create the avenues that would work for me. And I did. I eventually came through with Leadership Academy. Eventually, right before the pandemic, I created KRS Training and Development. And then it started to sell in the pandemic. And so I get to work with teenagers. I get to work with young adults. I get to help people be their best selves based on a situation that, I thought was going to break me. When I tell you, I was in such a bad place
Mhm.
mentally, emotionally, spiritually at that time. And I had to pull me out of it. And thank God for great friends who won't let you just fall off the wayside. Thank God for, mentors who are like, hey, you need me to chin check you or hug you? Which one we doing today?
Right.
Eventually that hug gonna turn into a chin check because you got to pick yourself up and get to where you need to be. And so I was able to do that. And so I'm super grateful. And here we are, 15 years later from the start of that, being the best of myself, right? And I don't mean life is great, right? Like
Mhm.
it has its ups and downs, and people die and people trip and people, make me have to pull my thug life out of my Christian heart. You know what I'm saying? And so but I'm
Sometimes,
here and I get to share and I get to be and I get to help other people. And that excites me to no end. That is so fulfilling. And then on top of that, I'm a mom. So I get
yeah,
to actually do this with the human I created. And she's freaking amazing, man. She's so
yes. We love Kayla. Shout out to Kayla.
yes, honey. She's doing her thing out here in these streets. I
Yes,
love
and
it.
we're proud of her. We're even more proud of you as a mom. I've seen virtually how Kayla's grown up, and even just our conversation. Just um, we talk and we've had those conversations, those pivotal times in our lives. That you've been there when I've had issues. I've been there when you've had issues, and we've just talked.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting how the transition has happened. And your growth, and you stuck with your business. You stuck with your vision. And I'm
Yeah.
proud of you for that. And I'm just loving to see all of you flourish
Thank
and just
you.
I'm really really proud of you, Kiana. Like if I haven't said it before, I'm saying it now. I am extremely proud of you and I'm just happy to see you finally getting the flowers that you deserve and continuing to glow and grow. Because you
Thank
deserve
you.
it. You've been
Just
helping
just
a lot of people
FYI,
out there.
like these are thug tears, okay? Just so my eyes are sweating right now, is what it
Right,
is.
right, right. We're not gonna call it crying. They're just sweating right now. They're just sweating. It's hot. It's a little climate change. A little climate change.
Listen, exactly. The climate in here
But
makes
no, I wanted to say that because I feel like oftentimes people forget that they forget where they come from and they don't see the work. They only see what happens later. They only see the finished product. They don't see, or they see the destination, or at
right.
least a pit stop, and they don't see the journey that goes into that. And so they
And it
forget
is a
that they
journey.
started out in a certain space, and so now they're growing and flowing, and that it's just interesting. So I'm just really proud of you
But you
and your
know what
humbleness.
else? So
Mhm,
thank you for that because I love
mhm,
receiving my flowers.
mhm.
Excuse me. But I think that some of it is that we're so busy watching people on social media, and we
Yep.
think that success is supposed to be instantaneous. And I
Yeah.
remember someone said, it may have been a Little Wayne quote, like I want to contribute to him, but someone else said it to me. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success. And
Yes.
that is a true statement. Like you have to pay your dues. You know what I mean? And our generation grew up hearing that. You got to pay your dues, you got to pay your dues. And then people were able to go viral with
Yep.
10,000 views. And now you got to have, 3 million or whatever it is to go viral.
Mhm,
And there's a constant change, but nothing about putting in the work changes. You have to put in the work. You have to,
mhm.
if we're going to be mentoring future bosses, we got to start with that. You have to put in the work. What people don't see is me up at 3:30 every single morning, Saturday and Sundays included. What they don't see is, I might go to bed at 8 o'clock, but I'm back up at 10:30 and working until midnight because like there's something in me that's constantly like, you got to get it, you got to get it. Which is not, I don't recommend that because that ain't necessarily healthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as we're mentoring people, we have to get them to understand that they have to pay their dues. They got to put
Yeah.
in the work. They have to be willing. I always have several irons in the fire,
Mhm.
not because I just like being busy, but because greatness will require you to create things, to to create the niche that you need to be in. And I
Yep.
think that a lot of people are not used to that. They're like, we just want to go viral. That's not real
Yeah.
life. Yes, people can do it, but that's 1 in a million. And I get it. Everybody done told you growing up that you were 1 in a million, but honey, you still got to put in that work. You still have to pay those dues.
Yeah. Now. First of all, everything you said, that those, there's not a lie told. Not a lie told. Okay. I think what I have seen in Gen Z that I didn't see in millennials in my generation is, or what I don't want to be generation, because I oftentimes when we have these conversations, generations think that we're bashing the other generation, and I see that often, and I've gotten frustrated with Gen X and even boomers, constantly saying, "Oh, y'all don't know nothing" or whatever, and it's a different world. Stuff that Gen Z has to deal with, or excuse me, Gen Z has to deal with that even me, I didn't have to deal with, is the constant camera on you, right? We didn't have to deal with, even like myself as a millennial, Gen X, boomers, they did not have to deal with a lot of the cameras on them unless they chose to be.
Everything was on.
Everything is viral. Everything. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has a cell phone, right? And so cell phones have dang on near become freaking cinematic, camera phone or cameras. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
so, they've gotten great clarity. They've got, they have Zoom. You know what I'm saying? They have good sound. So we're seeing kids make movies and situations, and there's when stuff happened in school. When I was growing up, it took a day or so, for it to really get around the school. And if you were in that circle, now the entire world, not just your school, knows what's going on. That's a different type of pressure. And so my question to you is, how do you combat that with your experience, and then helping, youth deal with that, and how do you navigate? Because I'm sure that they come to you with that.
So the first thing I tell them is put your phone down. Put it down. Because a lot of the stuff that you're going through could be solved by you could keep your mental, not solve it, but you can keep your mental peace by turning off your camera. You understand what I'm saying? Like by turning off the device. But at the end of the day, as parents, we have to understand that even when they turn it off, it doesn't go away like bullying did. Like, back in the day, once you got home, the bullying was over. Unless you were being bullied at home, right?
Correct.
But whoever the bully was, you had a reprieve. With social media, it's constant. There's, and the kids get meaner and meaner because they thumb thugs. They get to talk a whole bunch of stuff behind the keyboard, and parents have to be mindful of that.
It's not just kids.
Well, and we know that too. We know that. Folks is real confident. But in these internet streets, in a way that they would never be in the streets of Compton, right?
Never be.
But we have to.
I was about to get triggered. Go ahead, keep on with the story.
Bring it back, babe. Bring it back. Come back. You all right?
I'm good.
My solution or my I don't want to say solution. My help is, one, confront the situation. When you confront a situation, and by confront, I don't mean go in swinging, right? I mean address it. When we address the situation, people tend to back down, right? It humanizes us, for one, right? It takes us off the internet pages and humanizes us. But the other thing is that in being able to confront it, people start to show how big of a punk they really are. You understand what I'm saying? And so sometimes that's the best thing. Now, you can't always go with just you and the person. Sometimes you have to take somebody with you. You have to bring a parent. You have to bring an older brother, but they got to come in peace until it gets to a point where we can't be peaceful. But usually, if we just confront the situation in peace, then it can de-escalate it.
Yeah, oftentimes. Yeah, it does, because I think some people just have generational issues, or they have everything is trauma. I think everybody, has trauma. That's why I believe everybody needs, therapy, in my personal opinion. But I especially us, I think as a culture, we definitely need therapy,
right,
by us, from us,
right, by
um,
us. That's
by
very
us.
important. That's
That's a
very important.
very important situation. Hey, Inspire, thank you guys. And thank you guys for coming in. I didn't want to interrupt Kiana as she was coming in. So thank you, Tony, for coming in. Dr. Holt's in the building. Inspire. Paulette, thank you for joining. Queen from Facebook. We appreciate you. And Cupcake is in the building handling the moderation of the streets. Okay, praise God. Thank you guys for being in here and a part of it. Hit that like button on your way in, please. But yes, you brought up a very good point, Kiana. I think often, and I think that's why Gen Z gets really frustrated with with other generations, because it's like you're not getting it. You're just telling us what we want to hear or what you think we want to hear based off of what you've went through, but you haven't went through this. This is a different level, right? Like you said, there's a reprieve.
But
from the bullying.
at the same time, because the spotlight is on us too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was, 10 years ago, I'd have put on some lip gloss and some earrings and shown up for an interview. You understand what I'm saying? But because I know I'm conscious of the camera, I gotta be ready. You know what I mean? I'm mascara right now. I got eyeshadow, right? But also when I go out on the streets, if I get into an argument, there's 1,000 cameras on me all of a sudden as well. So it's not that we're not going through it. It's just that we had time where we didn't have to deal with it. But that kind of puts us at a disadvantage because we're not always thinking about the camera. Sometimes we just thinking about what the situation is. And now, again, thug life is out, right? Whereas I feel like my nieces, they're constantly aware, okay, there's a camera there. And then that throws off your ability to handle situations when that's the case, But I think if we can get out of the generational wars, we can really focus on helping one another heal and deal with what's going on in the world today.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, because I think one of the things that I'm really proud of Gen Z for doing, each generation I feel has made some major impact and contributions to society. Even though people talk about millennials that they haven't made any major impact, but they have. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I think Gen Z has really brought about consciousness regarding and awareness of mental health, and the need for mental health services, and the need for getting yourself mentally
and normalizing it.
And normalizing it, right? Because like I remember you were on a panel, I think it was at APLA Health a few years back, and you were on a panel and you were saying one of the things that frustrates you and that we need to get out of is that conversation or that ideology that we have within our culture that says what happens in the house stays in the house, because that creates a space of insecurity. It creates a space of inauthenticity, and it damages
space for predators.
Yes. Yeah.
Because let's just be honest, all our family members ain't good people, right? So when we are so busy going, what goes on in our house stays in our house, then your cousins don't know what's going on in your house, and now it's going on in their house. You understand what I'm saying? Like there has to be, hey Tasha, there has to be a level of open and honesty, and I absolutely agree. I do not teach my daughter what goes on in my house stays in my house. I live how I want her to live. I live in a way that if it leaves my house, people know it was me.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. I'm not hiding it. If we have a conversation, if she gets in trouble, I'm not telling her, don't go tell your daddy. I'm about to pick up the phone and let him know what's going on. And we've had situations in our family where it's like, hey, I need to talk to you because I'm not going to leave you out of the co-parenting piece. Now, I might be calling to say, hey, in the moment I had to handle this situation, here's how I handled it. But never am I going to tell my daughter, don't go tell your daddy.
Right.
We're not doing that. No. Never am I going to say, don't tell your grandma. And there have been things that she said. And that's why I had to learn, like, either live how you say you're going to live so that this child can be free, or go on and tell everybody you live in a lie. Right. Those are the two options. And so it only took one time for Kayla to share my business. And I was just like, okay, from here on out, we're not going to play with it.
Right.
because she deserves
Right.
to freely speak. A lot of
Mhm.
parents disagree with that, and that's okay. You can disagree with it. It works for my household. It works for my integrity. It works for me, right?
And it
And
holds you accountable, right? It holds you accountable by saying,
absolutely.
because I feel like if you're afraid of your child saying it, then you shouldn't probably be
Then
damn
you're
doing
not
it.
doing it right. And if I'm an adult and I'm grown and I'm big and I'm bad and all these other adjectives that we like to put out there, and we like to say how we keeping it 100, keeping it a buck, whatever, then why are we silencing our kids about what's going on
Right.
in our?
Because who gonna check me, boo?
Now, if I feel like she's exposing, it's because I'm not living the way I say I'm living.
Say it.
So that's not her burden to carry.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not her burden
Yeah.
to carry.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I'm really blessed to be around such amazing moms like yourself, like Tasha in the comments,
Tasha is a
like
great mom.
Cupcake in the comments. You know, my co-pastor. You know, there's you guys are just amazing women. And so my question, one of the reasons why I was really excited to have you. I mean, multiple reasons, but one of the multiple reasons why I was excited to have you on the show was to talk to you about. I really admire educators. I really admire those who are taking care of our future, who are mentoring our future. Anybody that's in a space of mentoring, that really excites me, because I always want to pick their brain on why you do it, because I know how I felt when I was teaching dance. It wasn't just dance for them. It was teaching them a lifestyle. It was teaching them growth. It was teaching them life skills. I incorporated certain things. I was telling them about their heritage and how African dance was so much a part of and rooted in why we have all these different genres like hip hop and jazz and even ballet. You know, so I loved how they soaked up so much energy. What is some of the reasons why you do this? Why you focus on young adults and kids?
I do it because I'm afraid for our future.
Mm-hmm.
With the lack of life skills, with the lack of intelligence that I see from day to day, and not just with my generation or Gen Z, but I'm talking about the boomers, the silent generation. Like, there has been a trickle down effect, right? You can't complain about Gen Z and not recognize that they've been raised by Gen X. You can't complain about Gen X. And it's like, when I think about growing up, it's like, you know what, we were, our epidemic was crack. And so they're like, we're dealing with people who were drug exposed, right? Because I don't like the term crackhead babies, but drug exposed babies who are raising kids, but they never got the mental and the emotional support that they needed, right? And so there's levels to this thing. And then it's like, well, who's to blame for that? And were those parents not watching? There was a time when the TV had to remind you had kids. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are? Right? Like, that was a standard nightly commercial, right?
Yeah.
We can blame people, but my thing is, in 20 years, I'll be in my 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are 20 years old now who are of housewives, who are living the culture of gangster rap or whatever, and they're going to be making public policy decisions for me.
Yeah.
That scares me. I cannot have people who think it's okay to shoot up other people, or who victimize, who blame the victim, right? Making public policy for me. I want to be a part of their growth. I want to be a part of what makes them intelligent, whether that's through entrepreneurship, whether that's through mentoring, whether that is through training and development and just helping them get their attitudes right. It doesn't matter. Anywhere I can be a solution, because I want to be able to complain when things ain't right. But if I'm not being a solution, then what?
Right.
So I'm helping. I'm in the trenches every single day for the last 15 years, because when I call it out, I want to be able to stand strong and not wrong, right? Too many people standing strong and wrong because they don't know. And so I'm constantly, I always say I know a little bit about everything, right? It may not be as much as I need to have a whole full conversation. And I'm okay with saying, you know what, I don't know enough about that, so I can't really speak on it. I'm okay with saying that. But we got people that will that's out on these internet streets every day talking about stuff they have no clue about.
At all.
No clue about. So I'm really, what drives me is that I want to be a part of the solution. My fear of what our world will look like in 40 years. When I'm 85 years old, I'm 84, I'm 44 now. So when I'm 84 years old, I really want our world to be a place that I am happy.
I'm sorry. 1 second, Kiana. You said you're how old?
I'm 44. I'll be 45 in January, boo.
I just want to enhance the screen real quick. I want y'all to see how gorgeous this queen is right here, and how she looks like she is in her early 30s, honey. Black on crack. Sorry, I had to have a moment.
Thank you so much.
Have a moment, but yeah, I want to continue this now because I'm seeing my timer go off.
Okay.
We have to take a quick commercial break and pay some bills, but I want to talk more about just KRS training and development and your groups, your Facebook, or all of that right after when we come back. So stay tuned, y'all. Get some libations. Okay, I don't care. It's after 5. Y'all should be at home from work. Okay, so you do what you go do. You grow. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
In a world filled with diversity, where radical faith and progressive believers come together, there's a place that's breaking all boundaries and embracing believers from all walks of life. Bullet and Flight Radio, where believers unite, boundaries break, and love triumphs. Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Lux and Noir.
I'm just loving the music. I'm over here bouncing.
Well, thank you, Queen. We appreciate you. Listen, y'all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because we appreciate it. It does help the algorithm. We appreciate that. And there's some gems we dropping down here, so make sure you let people know about it. If you feel so also inclined, if you feel like your chata shanda, right by your kidney supreme is urging you, feel free to drop a cash app on your way in or out, in the cash bucket at Kwame C86. We thank you for your time. And also, if you want to get direct messages from Pyro Media Network, text Blaze. That's right, Blaze, BLAZE, to 833-793-2423. We appreciate you. Thank you, guys. And for those who wants a little extra content from Pyro Media Network, we do have the Hotspot. It is our new Patreon. We have a lot going on. There's a lot of plans. I just had a meeting today with someone. Listen, y'all, you want to be in the Hotspot. It is where it's at. So definitely head over there. It is age 18 and above. So make sure that you're accordingly. They do age verifications up in there. So make sure you have the kids put away. All right, there's a lot of cussing on there. Over here on Pyro Media Network, we keep it cute and clean. Right. We're back with Kiana Shaw. Thank you, Kiana, for Coach Kiana Shaw for coming on through and blessing us and gracing us with your presence. Now, we were talking a little bit more or a little bit about just kind of the different things that go into mentoring, young adults and specifically teen girls and what that looks like for you. Now, why did you start KRS training? Like, why specifically KRS training?
So I had an opportunity to work with the lady who had a training and development company, and I just saw a Facebook post that she posted, and I reached out, and she was like, "Come on, like you ain't got to interview or nothing," because we had worked together previously, and it was in helping and facilitating courses for her. I just fell in love, and I realized that I was already kind of doing that through my training, through my nonprofit, but this was a way for me to go deeper and not just focus in one area, but to help with a real rounded person. And so KRS Training and Development was created October 2019, and then the pandemic hit. And it was like, well, that's not good, right? As we kept moving, as we kept doing it, and me just constantly reaching out and making contact. And I think that they started giving me classes because they were like, this lady keep calling. Like, what can we do to get her to not call us today, right?
Right.
And so, but it's been a heck of a ride. I've been able, KRS is my initials, Kiana Shaw, Training and Development. And when I get the building, it's going to be on the building, okay?
Well,
but I realize our kids do not want jobs. They want gigs. They don't they want to be able to do something in the morning, get paid in the afternoon, right? And so I had to look at how are we developing them for work in a way that is keeping up with the world. Because then at that time we were thrown into a pandemic. Companies were closing. People weren't going into the office, and it's like the kids were like, "Oh, this is my kind of money, right? Like, oh, I could just do a little DoorDash. I could just do a little bit of Uber." They weren't scared of COVID. They were just like, "Y'all overreacting." Excuse me. And so there were tons of opportunities to observe where our kids were going. And so I was like, you know what? We have to figure out another way, but they still need to know about attitude because I see so many people saying, I work for myself. I am a business owner. No, you're an independent contractor. There's a difference.
There is a huge difference.
Right. And so if you're working for Uber Eats and all of that, and that is your livelihood, your Uber Eats and Lyft and whatever else, that's not the same as being a business owner. That's an independent contractor. There's still taxes that got to be paid, and there's a way you have to maneuver all of this. But if you're gonna do it and be able to, what they really want to say is they're in control of their schedule and they can't be fired from a job that they're not employees of. That's a difference. And so I really wanted to create an avenue where they understood you still need to show up on time. You still need to have a good attitude, know how to resolve conflicts, understand that you can't bring your stress from home to the job and your stress from the job back to the house. There are things that have to be taught. You have to learn team building. You have to learn how to maneuver in the corporate space, even if you're not in the corporate, because you want contracts with you got to be able to speak corporate language. There is no middle there.
Yeah, and I think that experience, Kiana, is often lacking in Gen Z. Sometimes I see because they because of the boom of YouTube and TikTok and the social influencer type situation, they can start getting jobs, right? They can start doing DoorDash. They can start doing all of these different things that's internet based or digital, so they don't really have to go to a building. And now, because of, the rise of remote work being, desired because it gives, more flexibility within the schedule, that doesn't mean that the work is any less. It doesn't mean that the professionalism is any less. It just means that it's a different type of space, right? And I think a lot of times people think that because you work from home or that you have your own business, that you are just this boss and that everything's all fun and dandy. I've had many sleepless nights, because
work ethic does not change. The work ethic, you still, I don't care if you are working from home. People are mad about the spyware that the companies are putting on the computers, but if I'm paying you and you spending half your day texting, you got a full 8-hour day pay, but you only worked about 3.5. That doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? So as a business owner, I'm going to figure out how can I work this out? How can I track my progress? You can't be mad at me for that. What you can do is choose not to work for me. And listen, I will release you to your destiny without any problem. But when you come here, I have a standard. And you got to match it. You got to meet it. And whether I'm letting you work from home and everything can't be, as a business owner, the contracts that I have, they're like, hey, we're going back 100% live. My feelings were hurt, right? I'm like, wait, I done got comfortable. Nothing I can do. So I'm driving 60 miles one way. But I got to make it happen. I don't get to not make it happen.
Yeah. And I think that is something that gets overlooked when it comes to how we navigate as bosses. And you said something that was very interesting. There's a difference between an independent contractor and someone who owns a business. When I first started out, I was what I considered an independent contractor because even though I was under, I gave it a name, I still had W-4s for this company and W-2s for this company and doing different things. And I was doing things on the side. I was freelancing. But I was being hired on as a contractor, not as a company. Now I have taxes, I have things, I have a staff. They get you
gotta have insurances.
You gotta have it. Honey, that insurance is ridiculous. And can we talk about I'm sorry, I triggered again.
Can we talk about what? Go ahead and say it. I
want to go into that franchise tax that California has. What's wrong with you, California, with that franchise tax, girl?
Listen, but I pay it. But I pay it because I'm a business owner. So I have to pay it. That's part of the business tax. It's a part of paying dues. It is a part of running a successful business. I gotta pay it.
Yeah. And it's a part of you can't sit there and complain about the community when you don't contribute to the community. I can't complain about Victorville or San Bernardino County or California if I'm not paying my taxes into the state. You know what I'm saying? Into the county, into the space that I live. So when I talk about different politics or different things in the political world, I'm referencing things that I'm paying for. I'm referencing things that I voted for. I'm referencing things, and the same with you. We're all referencing things that we're frustrated about things that our tax dollars are going towards. And so for me, you can't just go about getting going by without really taking accountability and responsibility for your place and your space as a citizen.
Absolutely. And you have to pay that cost to be the boss.
Yeah, that part. And I also, one of the things that you said something about professionalism, the way you talk and the way you walk. One of the things that I was just talking to a client about was, they were trying to figure out a way to get their child into I don't even know what industry it was. I can't remember what the industry was, but it wasn't like, any of the industries I'm in, but they were trying to get them into that industry. And they were just really, this industry requires a lot of networking, a lot of face-to-face talking, socializing and stuff like that. And this person's very recluse, very, very antisocial. And I said, well, then they have to find another job. Or another space that they're going to go into, because if that's what's required, that's what needs to happen. And for me, I had to learn how to navigate different personalities, because you can't if you want to have this big empire, this big company, and this big thing that I want to have, I can't sit there and just be a one-man show. I had to hire on staff. I had to bring on, I had to expand. And with that means different types of communication with different staff, different personalities, different clients, different types of spaces, different things that happen that may not be what I'm accustomed to or used to, but you have to get used to that. How do you navigate that with students or teenagers or youth that come to you and ask you, well, I don't want to work with that girl. She got on my nerve.
So I point out all the things you just said. Right? Mm-hmm. As a business owner, I have to navigate that. What makes you think you don't when you're not even the owner of the company? If I'm putting all of that into y'all as my staff, What makes you think that you don't have to put anything into yourself and into your coworker? Listen, I've been on this work. I've been working since I was like 12 years old, right? I started working full time at 16. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in 30 years of working, I have worked with a whole bunch of people that I was going, ain't no way you took the same test I took. No way. No, there is no you did you interview with the same person I interviewed? Because I feel like I had to jump through hoops and be my best self. You could not have come in with the same interview as me.
No.
And got accepted.
Mm.
What I'm trying to explain to teenagers all the time, even my daughter at 10 years old, baby, you don't get to pick and choose. Go play the sport. She's like co-captain with somebody that she don't like. And I'm like, so if the goal is to win, what does liking this person have to do with it?
Yeah.
The goal is to win. Did your team win, or did they lose because their coaches or their captains are crap?
Right.
I don't get that. I want to win. So if the goal is to win, I'm gonna work with everybody. Okay, you have an attitude. All right. How can we use that to the best of our ability? Mm-hmm. Can you take that attitude and go put it all on the field? Can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
In the workplace, can you shelve your attitude until the job is done? If you can't, that's fine. Some people are very emotional. You just can't work for me.
Right.
Because that doesn't work. Because when we step out in front of these youth, they need to see us giving our best selves. I don't always feel great. 2 weeks ago, I worked, and those 3 days, I was sick as a dog. But guess what? I knew I didn't have COVID, and I knew I had to show up. Because if I didn't, I lose a contract. That could cost me a lot of money in the end. So I'm going to show up. I'm going to put my mask on that I hate wearing. I'm going to rest before I have to go in, and then I'm gonna give you all I got for 5 whole hours, and then I'm gonna get back in my car and I'm gonna rest before I have to drive back home 60 miles.
Giving you the best
of life.
It really is. That's it.
That's right. I don't get to not show up because I don't feel good. I don't get to not show up because I'm going through a breakup. I don't get to not show up because I'm having a bad co-parenting week. I don't get to not show up. I got to show up anyway. I don't get to not show up because somebody passed away. I got to show up anyway. So I don't want to hear your excuses. Are you here to get the job done, or are you here to get a check for doing nothing? This is the wrong place for it.
Wrong. Because let me tell you, I'm not paying you if you're not going to do nothing. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
My team knows that. My team knows that. Like, I'm not going to pay you for nothing. You got to give me a reason. Give me a reason.
And that's why a lot of times I don't pay anybody by the hour. I pay by the results. Well, no, that's not true. I have a couple of people I pay by the hour because they're specifically contracted for this. But if they don't give me the results that they need at the end of those hours, they are not called back.
Right.
When I have people who come in to do like maybe data entry, I don't pay by the hour. It might take you 20 hours to do this. It might take you 5 hours. You're getting the same pay. Work it out yourself. This is what I'm paying for, the result, not for your hourly time, because people don't work as hard when they're hourly, in my opinion. People tend to slack off when they're hourly because they know they're going to get paid.
Right. It's guaranteed for them.
That's not real life.
Yeah. Or what they do is that they say, okay, well, I have 40 hours. I'm going to go ahead and slack off, knowing that I can get this done in 10. I'm going to go ahead and not do anything for the rest of the hours, and that's wasting my time.
And my money.
And my money.
Right. And so when I'm doing learning and development for like teaching girls to be, bosses and to like that, these are the conversations. We can't just go, oh, well, you know who the hookup is, hook me up. You got the plug, hook me up. That's an entitlement that I don't live in.
Right.
I may have the plug, but guess what? It took me forever to get my name to a place where they even recognize me. I cannot allow you to come in and half do it. And then attach my name to it. That's not like when I hear people say like they're just selfish and they're gatekeeping. You haven't proven yourself.
No,
it's not gatekeeping. I would never come to you and go, Kwame, just hook me up. As hard as I had to work, I'm not hooking Yeah.
And not
Show
only
me
that, it does a disservice and it's disrespectful to you, how hard you worked on, right? And the
absolutely.
connection that you made. I think for me, and I went through this in I want to say probably year 3 of Pyro being, because we were still a podcast company and really focusing on podcasting at that time. And we still focus on podcasting, it gets expanded. But I, I I remember that there was this guy, because you remember Blaze Entertainment. We
Mhm.
grew really, really fast.
Yes.
And a lot faster than I wasn't even expecting, because I was just going on it just to have fun and talk crap about Donald Trump. So that was my goal. But it gained a following, and so people, there was a person who I had already talked to, another I guess say podcaster in the podcast world, and had already warned me, hey, don't give him any of your contacts, because I gave him one and he it fell through, and that made me look bad. And I told him, I was like, I'm not giving you one of my contacts, girl, and I'm not giving you this contact because I know what you did with Homeboy, and now you have a reputation. Your reputation is going to precede you. When you really do the good work, when you really are doing what you need to do, your reputation is going to precede you. If I go and mention your name, they're gonna know who Kiana Shaw is. In certain spaces, they're gonna know who Kiana Shaw is. They're gonna know who a Toxic Champion is. They're gonna know who a Nicole D. Vick is. They're gonna know who a Dr. Morrison is. They're gonna know who these people are, and it's because you guys have really spent time building your brand and your name, and you've done the work.
And it took a long time to do it. I think that's the part that people don't see, is that it like I met Dante, I want to say, Dr. Dante Morrison. I met him. I mean, I feel like we are for sure 15 years in the game.
Yeah.
Probably almost 20, right? And so I've seen him grow it, and he was already like taken off before I met him, right? But I've seen him grow it. How dare I go, but I'm your friend.
Right.
Give me a hookup, and then I go
every hookup.
You can't do that. You can't.
You can't have the homie hookup.
Tasha said, what she did for you is what you did for me. So grateful to you, Kiana Shaw. But you know why I stuck my neck out for Tasha? Because Tasha did the work. Yeah. I could see that she's doing the work. I didn't have any problems. When I called her, she's like, yes. Not one time has she called out when in helping me. She's one of my contractors. I don't need to worry about if she's doing the job. I let Tasha go and do, because I know that I'm getting the results.
Yes.
And so when people are feeling like I'm not giving them, listen, I just connected someone I knew with my biggest contract, because she's doing the work. But if you ask me and I say no, don't be mad. I'm not gatekeeping. I don't see what you're doing.
Right. I don't know what you're doing, girl. I don't know what you're doing. And if I don't see what you're doing, I can't put my name on.
Or your reputation has preceded you, just like my reputation precedes me. Can't nobody in these streets say Coach K don't show up and show out. You cannot say Coach K is messy. You can't say she's late. I'd be an hour early before I'm a minute late. You can't say that Coach K is late.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So these are the things that I'm constantly pushing our youth to do. If you want to be an entrepreneur, set yourself up to be a successful one. Show up on time.
And not only that, set yourself up in a space where you're not around other people that can bring down your reputation. And I just recently realized that in my prayer, in my meditation, in the people who have come into my life recently and said, hey, I didn't mess with you or your company because of who was attached to you. And you had to clear some stuff up. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense why the opportunity to come in. Because you have to clear. You can't, if I'm around, if you were this horrible, messy, evil person, and you're just constant, everybody knows that Kiana doesn't show up to gigs. She doesn't get reports in on time. And she's with me. And, oh, you know Kiana? How you know Kiana? Oh, you work with Kiana? Oh, okay. Well, you have a blessed day, girl. We're gonna go. So, you know what I mean? But because I'm around people like Kiana, because I'm around people like Tasha, because I'm around people like Dr. Morrison, because I'm around people like Nicole Divic, because I'm around these people who are so influential in the game and who have built their name and brand off of authenticity, off of resilience, and off of responsibility, off of accountability. It helps when you're surrounded by those people. You have to remove all of that. You have to be careful who you surround yourself with.
Yes, because people will judge you based on your contact. And listen, it's not always judgment. It's not judgment if it's evident. If I am late, then you got a right to say that. But here's the thing: if you point out something that I'm not doing to your satisfaction or something that you heard, I am quick to humble myself and fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say, oh, well, I don't have to work with them again. I may never want to work with them again, but that does not mean that I don't want to work with someone that they're working with. So I'm going to humble me and I'm going to fix it because I got other families on my back that I got to make sure get their payments.
Yeah.
And I don't wait until I'm paid. I paid my people as far in advance as I can.
Yeah.
So I need you to show up. I need you to do your job. And I need you to do it well.
Okay. Expeditiously, if you can. Kiana, I could talk to you all day. We're running out of time for what.
Are we over? Is it?
No, it's already 6.
We can't just add time. Look, I'm like, we can't just put more time on the thing.
Okay. Well, I have a show after this. Unfortunately, I have to do the Walt B connection. Shout out to the Walt B and the band over there. Manon. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to let people know who you like, where we can find you, how we can support you and continue. And I have to have you back on the show. And I think I want to do a panel of queens. I tried it one time. I think we did it once. But I think I want to do another panel. It'll be dope. Yeah.
I'm all for it. So they can reach me right now. You can catch me every Tuesday on KCCR Radio with The Real on Parenting. My partner, Danielle. She's a marriage and family therapist. And so you can catch us on there. You can catch me inside my Facebook group, Mothers Raising Teen Daughters. There's 25,000 moms in that group and a good 18,000 are active. So I don't care what your issue is, you can get some great advice or at least, talk it through with some people. All the advice ain't great. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I do know that, there are a lot of moms in whatever space you're in. You can contact me, Leadership Academy, if you're looking for a space for your teen girls to learn life, leadership, and empowerment skills. Hey, Nicole. Life, leadership, and empowerment skills. Leadership Academy will be kicking off in January. We were just blessed with a space. And so I'm so excited. We're going to be in the city of Long Beach. It won't be virtual. It will be live.
In person, Hanny.
Say that again.
I said in person, Hanny.
In person. And so you can also email me at kianashaw.com. If you need information, you can email my assistant, info@kianashaw.com. That's it. Find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm still trying to navigate. I'm not trying to navigate. I don't like TikTok that much. Like I can watch a video, but like trying to upload content, I'm trying to get better. But I know let me rephrase that. I know I need to get better. I'm not actually doing the work to do it. Sorry. It does. And so you can also, look at what I do at kianashaw.com or kianashaw.enterprises.
Yes. Come on, Enterprises. Yes. Shout out. All right. So listen, y'all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Kiana, it is an honor to always have you on the show, to just be in your presence, to listen to you, to just hear you talk. I'm definitely going to tune into your podcast on Tuesdays. Definitely, I have to get your link and I'll make sure I share it out to everybody. I also will put it in Patreon so that way we can go ahead and make sure that people are listening through. Make sure you guys jump in on the hotspot as well. Okay, praise God. All right. Let's go ahead and head out, y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe on your way out. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit up youtube.com/Kwame Speaks Official. Not just Kwame Speaks, it's Kwame Speaks Official. And then also, like I said before, make sure you join the hotspot. It's $5 a month. It's a cup of coffee, y'all. I promise it will be worth it. There's some things in there that I cannot say yet, but that will be in there for you guys. Just go ahead and support. Praise God. All right. And also, if you haven't done so already, head up luxandnoir.com. It is my candle company. We do free shipping on orders over $100, and we have been getting a lot of shipping or a lot of orders these past couple of weeks. So definitely get in there and make sure you tune in and join the Candle Collective, which is our mailing list for you to find out when we are dropping new scents. We have a bunch of new fall stuff coming in, and I cannot wait to show you guys. Praise God on that. Also, make sure you follow me on all social media networks at Kwame Speaks Official. It's very simple. If you're looking for any type of business development or productivity development when it comes to like planning or anything like that, hit me up at kwamespeaks@outlook.com, or you can contact the KC3 agency at pyromediaenterprises.com, and we'll help you out. All right, y'all. We love you. Stay blessed. We gotta go. Make sure you stay tuned for the Walt B Connection, which is happening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you're listening on Bullet and Flight Radio, thank you so much for all that you do, and the pilots over there. We love you. And Kiana, y'all have a good one. Remember, it's a great day to have a great day. So create one. Peace out.